Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another Moon Colony live stream. It's nice to see you all again. Uh, Today, I've got Leoni back to do something that we haven't done one of these in a little while, actually. One of
Yeah,
your material studies. So it'll be it'll be good to it'll be good to see one again. Uh,
yeah. I think that last time was last year. I think we don't
mhm.
didn't do one this year.
Yeah,
Did
it might have been. Yeah, the last one was the ice one, I think, in
hmm
December, wasn't it? So
Yeah,
yeah. Um, so today you're going to be doing a sort of wood bark kind of material. Um, so that'll be interesting. For those of you who want to follow along, I've put uh, a a link to a folder you can download in the Discord that has a reference board in it. It has the Moon Colony rocket layout. It has the layout for the creature that we'll be doing in the second part of this stream, and it also has the Photoshop file that is on the stream right now. So you can go download that and then follow along with us if you like. It's always great to see how great you guys do after these streams. It's always so interesting. But
yeah,
um, I'll kind of let Leonie start us off. I know you have your rules, your tips.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I always start from this page, which is like simple tips for you to follow, because we don't know if this is your first time seeing this stream. If you want to watch the previous studies, you can go watch on YouTube.
Yep.
So basically, every time we're going to do studies using references, and we will take our time to observe the reference and try to understand what we are looking at. Always, also, we'll try to separate what are the characteristics of the light source and what is the object properties, because sometimes color can be more like related to the light source than the object itself or something. And we are always going to large to small, so we don't go to details very soon. Okay, so the references that I got like pretty fast, because there was not much planning coming into this, is like I just got a bunch of tree barks, and like today we're going to do like a generic tree bark, but like as you can see in the references, they can be very different from one another. They can be like more formed with lines, or they can be uh, kind of contained shapes, can be kind of square or wavy or whatever. Like
Yeah.
it's like you can do 100 different studies depending on the type of tree that you choose. So we have a a good variety here of colors and textures, and also you can add moss to it. I like to see tree bark with moss. I probably will use a little bit of that, or maybe like this type of coloration. I don't know what caused this red orangey parts. Um,
Yeah.
if it's some kind of mineral on the water or something that is causing this. And also, like if we look closely, we can also see a little bit of green that is some kind of lichen or something, some kind of fungus. So yeah, like I will not do a cool explanation like Milita does, because she actually studies the biology. I'm usually only interested in what looks cool,
Yeah.
and that's it. But like I highly advise you to understand your references, especially if you are doing some kind of creature design or something that has to be grounded somehow. For example, I have to do a creature that would live in a pine forest, for
Yeah.
example. Okay, so what are the pine trees made of, and like what is the type of bark? It's like what is the texture and things like that. So because we are doing something that is more generic, it's like just generic tree bark, and it's kind of stylized. I don't care that much, so we can use whatever we want from this. So we're always going to start from our rocket, which is our base. And then I designed this little fella for us to try some stuff on him also.
I love him so much.
Yeah. Like actually I thought about the eyes first, but then afterwards I included this on the references, like
yeah.
It's like when you cut the trunk of the tree and it kind of grows around the hole or something and forms this. It's kind of cool for like eye shape, so I'm gonna use this as reference.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's it. That's what we're going to do today. The first hour will be the rocket, the second hour will be the creature.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you have any questions along the way, just ask in the chat.
Yeah, feel free to fire away. I'll just say hello to some people. Hi, Rogello Paulus, nice to see you. Hi, Zarian. Leoni said hello as well. Hi, Leoni. I see you put hello in the chat right at the start of the stream. So hello. Hello, Brian Storm. Nice to see you. Kamui Hacks. Hello. Kathy, do not fret. I am here. Yeah, it's good to see you. Glad you could make it. Melissa said for this theme, I'd show you all the different driftwood that I keep in the next room for future builds for my vivarium. I'd want to see that. Kathy and Zarian said that the little wood guy is super cute. Yeah. I mean, if you want to get your hands on the line art, then go ahead and look in the Discord. It's in the streaming channel. Just look in there. There's a link to download all of the resources that we have today.
Yeah.
Joe says, haha, the creature is awesome. I love his eyes. Yeah, he had very cute eyes. Nick Hurt said, this is awesome. Hi, Dr. Inart. Nice to see you. And hi, Histuni. Nice to see you too. Good morning. Good afternoon if you're in the UK. So, yeah, as we said before, you're starting with the like bigger forms.
Yeah. And because I think I will go to something that have more lines to go across the form. It's like a good way for us to kind of describe the 3D shape, right? Like of course I'm not to like a straight line like this because this is too perfect. I will do more organic lines, but what I'm trying to do here, it's kind of describe the 3D of this object, right? Something like this.
Yeah.
Okay. So today I'm feeling like I'm going to do more less line art and more broad strokes.
Yeah.
Than I usually do. So for example, I can actually start kind of doing lines and rendering at the same time a little bit. I'm kind of feeling that today.
Yeah, man. I'll just hide my head for a second so people can take a glimpse of the reference. That's what Leoni's looking at right now. Yeah, now my huge head is out of the way. There we go.
It's like you can separate what is texture, what is light and shadow, but here I'm kind of doing uh, light and shadow first. Like I'm don't thinking too much about the color of the object, as you can see.
Yeah.
It's just I'm doing thinking about the ambient occlusions, which would be the places where light cannot hit. For example, in this lit part, like this would be the lit part, this part.
Yeah.
I will do some crevices or something.
Hmm.
Let's try. I'm feeling like I'm gonna do this in a more organic way than usually.
Than usual.
Usually I do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where's the whimsical music in the background? I do have some music on. Would you rather have something a bit more whimsical? Let me see what I can find. Uh, we can go back to the you can go back to the Minecraft inspired playlist that has some random like drum and bass halfway through it. There we go.
I cannot hear it, so
Yeah,
I don't know.
Leoni's missing out. I think when it comes to wood, in getting the cracks and crevices and stuff in there, I'd be worried about going overboard and just
Yeah,
putting in way too many.
yeah. Actually, this is something that people do a lot,
Mm,
especially beginners. They do go overboard, and one thing that I will try to avoid is doing this. I'm gonna do like very dramatic, but if I do this, like very
mm,
dark lines here and here, and I go and do like white parts here and here, like I lose the overall structure. So that's why I always say think big farms then small farms.
yeah.
So for example, what I actually already did, uh, it's like I got a soft brush and did this to kind of uh, group these values as light values.
Hmm.
Of course, I will have some dark spots, but I have to be very careful not to introduce too much darkness into the lit area, you know?
Hmm.
So it's all about the overall shape, the readability of the overall shape, you know?
Yeah. Hello, Lisa Barron. Nice to see you. Welcome. I think the rocket is a nice shape for this because
Yeah,
you could also do uh like a nice polished wood
yeah, for sure.
if you wanted.
Yeah, it's like I said, we can do wood, like 100 different stuff for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Like it's so varied, it can be whatever.
Yeah.
It can be very polished, it can be very rough with
Hmm.
a lot of different type of textures.
Yeah. Actually, if anyone in the chat has any materials that you would want us to cover in the future, then let us know. We're always looking for more suggestions because at the end of the
Yes.
day, we want to do this to help you. So if you can think of anything, then let us know. And
Mhm.
as Leonie said earlier, you can find all of the old ones that we've done on our YouTube channel as well. Uh, Painting ice or water would be nice. We've done ice. We actually did ice in December. I'll see if I can grab the link to the VOD. Uh, but yeah, we did do those. Um, have you guys done crystal? We haven't done crystal, but we did kind of
Yeah,
do a
ice
glass
crystals.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And also ice crystal.
yeah, and ice is very similar. Just change the colors a little bit. I think that was a point we made in the ice one when we were like, oh, yeah, if you just change the colors, it can just look like a crystal. Um,
Yeah, it can be. can look like different types of crystals also. Like
Yeah.
if it's very clear, like actually water is transparent, like ice could be transparent like a crystal, but I introduce a little bit more of blue because it's stylized and it's like to look more like ice.
Yeah. Oh no, it's my bad. I have to look for those. Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, no worries.
I've just put a link in the chat to the ice one that we did in December.
Mm-hmm.
So take a look. What about?
You can see that the way I'm painting is way different what I usually
Yeah. Yeah. It feels a bit more traditional.
Yeah, it's fun, especially for things like this, like this type of texture. Playing with brush texture is kind of nice.
Yeah. Kathy said, "What about foliage?" Oh, okay, yeah, a nice foliage one would be great, like a bush. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, we were discussing what we're going to do today, and we said something like, "Oh, you can do fur, we can do scales, or something that is more like animal-like." It totally works. We could do like a furry rocket.
Yeah, yeah.
But at this, I did not choose to do that today because I will have to design a creature with that, and it's kind of time consuming. It's kind of tricky because there's a bunch of small things to make it look nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's go for something a little more simple today, but we have like this type of textures in mind. Foliage follows into that category a little bit, which is you can do an overall shape that kind of looks like foliage, but it's the type of material that involves a little bit more of polish to look cool.
Yeah.
But I can totally do it, like in the future. It's a nice idea.
Yeah. Let me get these. Let me get these down. I have a document somewhere in these many tabs that I have open. Oh, here we go. So we've got foliage. Have you guys done precious metals? I know one of the first ones we did was...
Yeah, the first one was just metal.
Yeah.
Kind of shiny metal, but we didn't do... We can do other types. We can do more rough metal. We can do more mirror type of thing.
Yeah.
More polished.
Yeah. Because things like precious metals are like that's like gold, silver, stuff like that, right? If I'm remembering.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think it's hard to convey some things without too many context. Like how do you? Of course, if you do precious metal in general, it will be more polished, not scratched or something.
Yeah.
Right, but it also depends a lot on the type of object you're drawing.
Oh, we should probably.
It's a nice idea.
We should probably mention
more metals.
That in this Photoshop file, it has all of our old ones in it, doesn't it?
No, I removed it because
because it was too big.
Yeah, because every time I post a new one, it's getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
And it's getting too big for Discord.
Yeah.
So I stopped doing that.
If you you could, if you do want some of the old ones, then you can always look back in the streaming folder, and we'll have uploaded the file, probably on the
Mm-hmm.
ice one, I think.
Yeah.
I'll have to put like a document together or something that has all of them in it. So you've got most of those like big cracks in there now, or are you still working on that?
Yeah. Today I'm kind of going all over the place.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, today I'm just going to paint without thinking too much about the order. It's like
Mm.
you can do that. Like you can do the texture and the light sources and the highlights and the deeper shadows, everything at the same time. You can do that,
Yeah.
but you have to have a good control of what you're trying to do at each time.
Yeah.
I usually go very slow in terms of process and
Hmm.
I'll do this and that because it's easier to understand.
Yeah.
Um, it's easy to explain how it's done. But today I'm feeling more like I'll draw in a more organic way,
Hmm.
which is also very fun and uh, interesting to to do, right?
Yeah.
But you have to be mindful of, okay, I put like a brush stroke here. What is this? This is a shadow, okay. But like, is this hurting the overall read of this part?
Hmm.
If it is, I can make this lighter,
Hmm.
And so far, and you go like building a little by little. It's like a sculpture.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm going to start playing with color
Yeah,
pretty
I was
soon.
gonna say we got a question that was Alex. It's okay. You can call him Leoni. That's okay.
Yeah, you can call me Alex also. Doesn't
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
Oh, okay. Um, it seems weird reading it as Alex and knowing that I
Yeah,
call
we
him
have
Leoni.
like 200 Alex in the
Yeah,
studio,
yeah. Um, Mr. Kent says, Alex, how do you plan to go into color after doing this in grayscale? Oh, no, don't apologize. It's fine. Don't worry.
No, don't worry, don't worry.
Yeah.
Don't worry, guys. Uh, okay. There's several ways you can do it, but the way I do it is usually very simple.
Hmm.
I just overlay this with some kind of base for me to start working
Hmm.
on it. I tend not to over do stuff on the grayscale if I'm going to do this process, because in general I do colors first. But if I'm going to do grayscale first, I don't finish my render here and apply color at the end.
Hmm.
So like in the halfway point like this, I can start applying color. And what I will do, I can create a blending mode that can be overlay or soft light or even hard light. Hard light is one of my favorites
Hmm.
because I don't know, it keeps the saturation of the color that I choose in a satisfying way for me, anyways. So let's try. If I do
Easy.
this, for example, is it's not very good because in the term of hue shift is like everything is on the same hue.
Hmm.
So this is not good. So this is why usually colors, like when you do this type of process, your colors don't look too good because they have just different lightness but they don't vary here, right?
Yeah.
And also they don't vary too much in saturation. So what I do is like I will introduce saturation to my shadows. I don't need to go too dark. I just want saturation. So I just start adding this, for example, more red tones in the shadow parts. You can see that I'm going like super loose on top. I don't I'm not rendering right now. So this part probably will be lighter, like if I go with the 3 hole thingy.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're called.
We call it knots in Portuguese. It's like a knot.
We
You know.
Yeah, we have a different like knot in when you say the knot of a tree in English, it's a bit different.
Okay.
For us, it's like when you cut into a tree and you see all of the wood like spiraled a little bit, like
Yeah.
that like block in the middle. That's what we would call a knot. Oh.
Yeah, I don't know if we have different names for these two things. Maybe it's just one name. I don't know. But I searched for 3 knots, and I found this. But
Okay.
in Portuguese.
Oh yeah. I think they're called.
Okay. Why I started doing the colors now because I want this color variation of this one that I think it's nice. And I don't want to figure this out with values because when you try to figure out with values, you can go like, oh, is this orange part darker value or lighter value? Probably a little darker, but not too much. But if I just do it with color directly, I can already see what I'm trying to do, you know. So that's what I'm doing right now.
Nice. Hello, Skullpal. Nice to see you. Welcome back. Brainstorm says, "Wait, what? Leoni speaks Portuguese?" Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yes, Leoni
Where
speaks
do you think I'm from?
Yeah, where do you think Leoni is from?
Yeah, it's because my British accent is perfect.
I don't think I've ever heard you do a British accent, and the idea of that kind of terrifies me, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know how it would be. It's like, it's just me talking English. Okie dokie. Let's see.
Actually, I was going to say, Mr. Ken, if you wanted a more detailed stream about going from grayscale to color, we actually did one last year.
Yeah.
With
with a real pro.
With a real professional, unlike Leoni. It was with Alex Heath. Yeah, you still need to watch it. That's fine. No worries. I can throw a link in the chat. It's in your long backlog. Yeah, I don't blame you. I'll put a link in the chat for anyone who hasn't seen it already. But don't worry about it. You got it. It's not going anywhere for the foreseeable future, so.
Yeah, but next week will cost $5 for one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So better watch today.
Yeah.
And you can send the money directly to Jade.
Yeah, you can send it directly to my PayPal. And you get access to all of our backlog of videos. Nico Art says, it might be a noob question, but does overlay or soft light change the value or just the hue?
Okay, let's try, and we're gonna discover together.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna, this is now black and white. I'm gonna put overlay layer, and I just what overlay? Come on, it's not lighten color, it's overlay. Okay. So we want to see if this is messing up the value or not. So I'm gonna duplicate it again and remove the saturation. Yeah, it's not messing up the values too much, just a little. Let's see with soft lights. Yeah, same thing. Yeah, it's mostly adding saturation and changing the hue, but not the value too much. But it influences the value. It's not. Oh no, but there's a thing. It will influence the value if it's too light or it's too dark. If it's like in the middle, it will be kind of neutral.
Yeah.
So if I I have to explain it better. So this would be like a mid value thing if I go bright, because actually red is not the best for that, because red is kind of dark value. So if I go yellow, you're gonna see that this will lighten the value a lot. Actually, I'm just not thinking straight today. Okay. So if I go like dark value here, it will actually darken the value. So if you don't want to mess up your value structure and you want to add color, like try to stay in the middle of the color thingy here. Okay, don't go too dark or too light. If you just want to add color and saturation. Okay, if you go this way, it will mess up your value. But there are other blending modes that will, for example, the mode saturation will only add saturation. The mode hue will only add hue. The mode color will only, So these are the ones that will not mess the others. For example, if I go color, so I will do the test. Bright blue, mid blue, and like dark blue. And I'm going to go with color. You can see that in terms of value, it doesn't change the value, but kind of changes the saturation a little bit and a little bit of the hue, because it's like if I go more saturated here, probably I'll get something similar to this. And in the top one, if I remove saturation, so this is more similar, right? So you can kind of find the same color if you go like this, a little diagonal this way. So it depends. You can test your blending modes to see what results do you get, and you can do tests like this to understand things. So we have this question: will doing overlay mess up my values? And you do this, like a bright color, a mid tone, and a dark tone, and see what happens.
Yeah, that seemed pretty clear. Nico Art said, "Nice, thanks, super clear." Cool. Messiah says, "It's quite difficult for me to paint saturated hues with this method." Oh, with the
grayscale.
The grayscale method, yeah.
Yeah, grayscale is hard because when you do your painting, like you do your whole painting with values, you think, for example, red is a bright value. So if you paint with values and you paint like a value like this, the background, if I want to make this value to look red, so I'm gonna pick my brightest red right here, and I put this in color mode. You see, like this is the color that I have with this value. Because if I have red as a value, like the most saturated one, and you see the value of it, it's kind of dark. So if I change this to yellow or purple or whatever, like a yellow is like quite bright, you know. So every color kind of have its own value range, you know. Like even a bright red will never be as bright as yellow, or a
Okay.
bright like purple or blue will be kind of dark also. So we have to kind of think about that. If you're doing a whole painting in black and white and then trying to add colors and your colors don't look cool, you have to mess up your values a little bit to find the correct colors, you know.
It's really interesting. I never thought. I don't know why it's never really crossed my mind that like a bright red is never going to be as bright as a yellow.
Yeah, it
I,
can appear bright because of the saturation of the
yeah,
color. It's kind of bright, but in terms of value, it's dark.
yeah, yeah. I never thought about that.
Because usually we think about the color pink, for example, as like a separate color, but it's just light red, you know, or something.
Mm.
If you go like in the red part of the spectrum and I go bright this way, you see like this is quite pink, right?
Yeah.
This color. It's just very bright red.
No. Even Messiah is like, oh my god, I never realized that. It's just one of those things, man.
Yeah, like we all go through this when we do black and white paintings, and then we try to apply color, and for some random reason the colors don't work. Yeah, now you know. It's like the color that you want and the value that you choose first, they don't match.
Yeah.
You have to change the value. That's one reason why I don't do too many paintings only with black and white. You know, I tend to go straight to color because if I have values in mind, I can control it, you know. The thing is, like, you have always to be checking. For example, this that I did right now, this is too bright for the shadow area, so I have to darken this.
Yeah.
To this. And this, it's a little better. Maybe it's a little too bright still. So it's like it's always a balancing game. So you want to add details, but you don't want to mess your overall structure.
Yeah. Kathy said next thing Leonie's going to tell us is that Santa isn't real. No, no, no. Leonie only tells the truth. So
Yeah.
he would never lie to us and tell us that Santa isn't real.
Let's flip it.
Flip it. Bop it.
Let me add a little bit of green. Let's see how it looks.
A little bit of lichen or something.
Yeah, for example, in this one, it's green in the parts that are like inside, I think. Yeah.
Mr.
One thing
Kent.
that is okay,
Oh,
go see.
sorry. I was going to say, Mr. Kent said, could you talk a bit about how you're using the references? What types of things are you noticing that you're implementing in the study? Yeah, by the way, I'm turning my camera off so that you can see the references that are behind my head.
Yeah. Yeah. Or I can show it like this. No
there
problem.
we go.
Okay. So I would say that the process right now is kind of chaotic. Like I'm not paying too much attention to a single one of them. It's like I think for the main texture, I go for something more like this in the beginning, but then I added this as a color reference. So it's mostly these three references, this one and these two that I'm following right now. What I like about those is the color shifts.
Yeah.
For example, this one is very interesting. There's purple and a little bit of green. I'll try to apply a little bit of that here. And that's it. Like at the beginning, I was thinking about doing something like this, but this would be very different from what I'm doing right now, I think. But let's see. It's kind of like because as I said in the beginning, this is a generic tree part thingy. It's not specific specimen of tree or something, like a specific tree. So I'm mixing everything together. But if you want to do a creature that looks like a specific tree, it's better if you focus on one single reference.
Yeah.
Okay, we have 15 minutes now.
Yeah. I know, time flies.
Yeah, the thing is that I'm stopping all the time to try to explain.
It's fine. I'm glad that people are asking questions.
Yeah, I'm always happy to answer.
Yeah.
So don't shy away if you have a question, even if you think it's a stupid question. Don't worry.
Yeah. The only stupid questions are the questions that go unanswered. I said time flies, and Alan goes, Leoni flies too. Where? Where to?
I don't know. I'm kind of afraid that Alan wants to push me out of a cliff or something.
Yeah, probably.
I'm watching you, Alan.
I'm always watching. Oh, okay. He said he means you're faster painting. Sure. Sure you do.
Yeah. Alan wants to destroy me.
Yeah.
I know that. Like when he did the draw this in our style of Nyx, like our mascot,
Yeah.
he drew him dead. He's already a skull, but he drew him dead, like floating in space with the glass shattered. And worse than that, he created a folder in his ArtStation called Sketch Dump, and he put Nyx there.
He put it in a sketch dump folder. Alan, come on, man. That's not right. That's not okay.
Come on, guy. What the hell?
Whoops. Nico Art said, in your opinion, what's the hardest material to render, or at least one that was the hardest to learn?
Anything that have like refraction, transparency, things like that. like a glass. We did a
Yeah.
glass bottle render with a potion
Yeah, it had
inside.
a potion in
That
it.
yeah, it's very tricky. But like after you learn some tricks to fake it, it looks okay.
Yeah.
And even if it's not realistic, kind of looks half decent.
Hmm.
Uh, but it's hard, like glass, transparency, and also reflections. If you do something that is very uh, reflective, like chrome dome or something, can be very tricky because you have to do draw the environment into the object.
Yeah. I'm
So
always
this is kind of
impressed.
tricky.
I'm always impressed when people paint like super polished metal, like a breastplate or something, because not only do you have to paint the environment into the object, but you also have to fit it with the curve of the object and everything as well, because
Yeah, it's
it'll be reflecting at like a weird, um, it'll like warp the environment a little bit. It's strange.
yeah, it warped a lot
Yeah.
actually. It's complicated.
Mm. Hey, Shuto, nice to see you. Welcome.
É o Guinho. É Guinho, chuto.
Guinho. Guinho Shuto.
É chutinho.
I kind of want a wooden rocket ship like this on my coffee table now. You know, just like a nice like
Yeah, it looks cool, right?
centerpiece. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm always interested in colors, as
Mm.
you can see. Like everything that we do here is like I like vibrance and uh, colors that may not look super realistic sometimes, but they are nice to look at.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm kind of doing here. I like this orange with
Mm.
this little bit of green. Looks cool.
Yeah.
Green is a very tricky color to use, actually.
Yeah. How so?
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes it's hard to make it look good.
Hmm.
Yellow also is complicated,
Do you think that it
but
can, because it can look
for
quite
green,
sickly or something? Like can.
yeah, like green, I try to avoid the middle of the green hue and
Yeah.
a lot of this green saturation. This is kind of, I don't know, kind of weird. Usually when I think about green, I do very like yellowish green
Okay.
or bluish greens, you know.
Mhm.
I try to avoid the middle of the green spectrum,
Yeah.
and especially saturation.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And in yellow is complicated because if you get a yellow and just darken it, it's very gets very muddy in terms
Mhm.
of the color. So my tip for you, if you're using yellow, always go to orange to do the shadow parts of yellow. It looks way more natural than if you just have your yellow hue and just darken it.
Yeah.
This yellow doesn't look
Just
too good.
it looks like brown.
But yeah, but everything depends on context.
Mhm.
That's another thing. Like one color only makes sense surrounded by other colors. That's another important
Yeah.
aspect of it.
Yeah. Okan Moore asks, how should I practice to improve my vision on the lights and shadows of the subjects? Sometimes I have a really hard time to see and understand the lights and shadows of some things really that some complex things. There you go. Sorry.
Okay, so I think the answer is in your question, in the sense of when it's too complex, can be hard to understand. So always go for simple references and simple light sources first.
Mm-hmm.
So one light source and a deep shadow, and try to understand that. And then you can add more light sources to it. So it's that's why we always see that study from like an egg and a light source, and you just try to render this egg. For example, almost every time I do paintings, I think about my light and shadow shapes as two different families. So it's like everything on light, everything on shadow. And I tend to do very dark shadow shapes and light shadow shapes, like shapes to be very contrasting.
Mm-hmm.
If you go in a situation that light is more soft or you have more light sources, it can be tricky. And also some objects can interact with light in a way that is not very uh it's hard to understand.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're trying and you're having too much trouble, try to simplify your studies, your references. You know.
Yeah.
Okay, we have 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
5 minutos.
Then we get to move on to the cute little tree monster. I love him.
Yes, the fun part will begin.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully that helped. Okay. Oh yeah, they said thank you for your advice with a little heart.
Most of the times I feel that I'm in the beginning stages because my studies in general and the things that I tend to pay attention to are the most fundamental stuff
Mm-hmm.
for values, light and shadow, and even drawing. It's
Yeah.
like for me, I'm obsessed with simple shapes.
Yeah.
So I want to have the like the least amount of effort to get the best result as possible, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't care too much about complex scenes and things like that. I'm always envying people that can draw very complex stuff, you know, because for me, I like doing simple stuff,
Mm-hmm.
not spending like weeks in a single thing.
Yeah. I mean, at least you'll get that satisfaction quicker if you just if you're content doing simple scenes and like simple shapes, then you can get them out a lot quicker and be happier with them.
Yeah. Yeah, for example, sometimes we have the question, oh, how do you know when to stop? Like how do you know when the thing is ready? For me, it's like when I'm satisfied with it, it's kind of quick, so it's like, oh, okay, it's good enough. Let's move forward to the next one, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But some people like they get obsessed with the image,
Yeah.
which can be good. Like if the person really pays attention to every single detail, we have images that are like crazy looking. But at the same time, you have to be careful to not like spend your life into a single image if you don't have the right approach to it. You can like spend a bunch of time and having an image at the end that is not interesting. It's like just a mess of a
Yeah.
bunch of small things, you know.
Yeah.
That's why I say the overall structure is always the most important, like the readability, looking from afar and being able to understand what the image is about, you know.
Yeah.
I've seen a bunch of images that you can see the effort of the person, but at the same time, like you cannot understand what the image is about because it's too much sometimes.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I've done that before where I'm like, I've looked at a picture and or an image and been like, wow, this is really nice. But then I kind of look at it again and I'm like, I don't really know what I'm looking at. Like I can tell a lot of effort was put into it, and I can tell that there was a lot of like
What?
there's like a lot of skill put into it. But at the same time, I'm like, this is very messy, and I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, and most of the times it's a shame because
Hmm.
you can see the potential. You can see that the person is really trying, but sometimes it's wasted potential because it's too much. Like,
Yeah.
for example, the first card game I worked on, I didn't have any experience
Hmm.
before, so I started doing the things that I think will look cool. But then, like, because I did like a bunch of cards for this card game, over 200, I at the end I start to go back to the previous ones and retouch them
Yeah.
because they were too complicated.
Hmm.
And most of what I did was not adding stuff or removing stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, this is too complicated. I have to remove texture. I have to make the light source more clear. It's like that, you know.
Yeah. I think doing cards must be a really good teacher. Like making cards for card games must teach you a lot because you kind of have
Oh yeah,
to. You're kind of forced to do things quite simple because you're only looking at something that's going to be like tiny, whether it's on a
yeah,
screen or on an actual physical card. Like you have so much to convey in such a small space.
true. Yeah, especially if the card involves like an action, an interaction between characters or
Hmm.
something. Yeah, it can be very tricky. So you have to think about silhouettes and simple groupings of values to
Yeah.
um, be very clear, like what the image is about.
Yeah. Uh,
Sometimes even with color palettes.
hmm.
For example, in Magic the Gathering, they have like the green cards must consist mostly of green
Yeah.
things, right?
Yeah. Alan says that he doesn't have a problem stopping. He just stops when the deadline tells him to. It's all well and good if you have a deadline, Alan.
True.
But we are into our second hour now, just letting you know.
Yeah. Okay. You can see that I added like a bunch of extra stuff.
Hmm.
Uh, if I would continue this, I would totally make this texture better and add a little bit more of the sense of light and shadow a little bit better because it's kind of soft right now. It's not a problem, but
Yeah.
for my taste, I think I need to do a little bit better with the light source. But
Yeah.
that's okay. This is good enough for now.
Hmm.
Now we're going to do our little dude. Yay!
Oh, I love them so much.
I'm
Uh,
gonna redeem Hydrate.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I might join you in that. For once again, for anybody who wasn't here at the start of the stream and has just hopped in or jumped in 20 minutes ago, half an hour ago, whatever, um, then you can get this Photoshop file along with the individual files for the rockets and the little woodland guy that you can see there now, and the references all on our Discord. If you look on the streaming channel, I've got a little link in there that will take you to a download for a zip file. So why not do your own little forest sprite guy, whatever he is?
Yeah, you don't know if he's young or old, or
Yeah,
if he's cute or creepy. It's like it's everything in between.
yeah. I guess he doesn't even have to be small. He could be huge.
Yeah, we can do this right now. You know what the trick is, Jaden? You just add birds.
Oh yeah.
Okay, now he's huge.
Now he's huge. He's become a lot more terrifying knowing that he's the size of like a 10-story building. Uh, the tree respecting community is watching you now.
What?
Richard Palace said Jaden is our favorite forest goblin. Aw, thank you. I kind of love that. Thank you so much. Uh, Stefano says the bird trick always works. It does.
Yeah,
So I don't know. This character looks a bit
like
small.
you,
No problem. I can fix that. 2 seconds.
yeah, or like usually what we do is put some human thing to
Yeah, like a human
give
silhouette.
scale. For example, if there's a human person, like a dude right here, okay, this creature is huge, right?
Yeah.
But if I put like a shoe or a boot or something right here, okay, now he's very small, right?
I still love him either way.
In my heart, he's very small.
Yeah. Yeah, mine too. He's just like a piece of driftwood or something that you've it's washed up on the side of a river or something. Ah, Leonie, this is your baby creature for the competition.
Yes. Okay,
Yeah.
let me just do the hatched egg, and I will
Yeah.
gonna win.
Yeah, he's hatched. This wooden creature has just hatched out of an egg.
Okay, guys, gonna be screwed now because I'm going to participate with this guy. Okay, this is my egg.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
The egg will be green.
No, the egg needs to be wooden. Come on, man. A
Nah.
wooden egg for a wooden creature.
Okay, this is the egg.
Oh,
You're gonna stop doing that because, first of all, we don't have
we don't have time.
time, and also I'm recording my screen, and the
Oh
and
yeah.
the speed paint will look stupid.
For like 2 frames of the speed paint, there'll just be a random eggshell.
Yeah, like what I do usually in this uh streams, like when I record the speed paint, I cut off these parts that are me just fooling around, putting
Yeah.
Jaden faces all around, things like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we should have done a subtitle that this was an experimental process. Yeah. He kind of reminds me of me when I wake up in the morning. With his eyes are all like puffed up and he's just kind of half awake.
And the back is kind of bent as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
to stretch.
Shuffling his way into the kitchen.
The mouth is dry. Water.
Yeah.
This is me before taking coffee.
Oh yeah.
My caffeine.
Yeah, I'm not a coffee drinker, so I just suffer in the mornings. Kathy said it looks like the current climate change induced dryness of forest is getting to him. Yeah. Yeah, this is what will happen to all of the forest sprites if you don't look after the climate. You have to be careful. Save the climate for him. Yeah. This is what a real life Deku shrub looks like from The Legend of Zelda. This is what it looks like in real life.
Yes. Okay. This is fun. I keep seeing people doing like epic scenes, epic creatures, and I just want to draw the silly ones.
We gotta get the silly ones. There's got to be someone doing them, you know.
Yeah. What a guy.
I was watching a video on YouTube the other day. For some reason, what you just said about like doing silly characters reminded me. But I was watching a YouTube video the other day of this woman who was on a really fancy cruise ship, and like all of the paintings and everything around the ship were like really incredible, super fancy. There was this big metal like diorama thing going on.
Yeah.
And she was looking at it, and then she zoomed in on this tiny part of it, and there was a Homer Simpson. There was just a little Homer Simpson sat in the middle of this like huge, impressive diorama made out of metal, and it was so weird. It was just like, you know, someone got bored of doing the really epic scene and was just like, I'm just going to put a little Homer Simpson sat on a sofa in the middle of this thing.
Yeah. Yeah, just for this random person to
find.
see what I did.
Clearly a lot of people found it because the rest of it was like made of like I think it must have been made of like bronze, and clearly a lot of other people had found it because it was the only piece on this diorama that was like polished, where everybody had been
Yeah.
like touching it.
Yeah.
Richard Palace said, definitely going to have to follow along with this one after work. Thanks for streaming. See ya. See you later. Thanks for coming along. Yeah, it'll be up on YouTube afterwards. Although I did get, apparently we had a subscriber, like a subscription that didn't come through on any of my alerts, which is strange.
What?
But thank you, Kathy, for resubscribing.
Thank you.
Thank you, using your, I think it was a Twitch Prime subscription. So thank you very much. It's much appreciated. Ignacio, don't say that. Don't put stuff in Spanish. I can't read it.
He's just asking if I'm using anti-age. Anti-age for what? For my little guy or for my real face?
Oh, it was Portuguese. Okay, I apologize. Herbert Daryl says, "Hey, Leoni, please come to Brazil."
I'll think about it.
Yeah, it's a long way for you to go, to be honest.
Yeah. I live where once was Paraguay.
Was it actually part of Paraguay?
Yeah, during a little while it was.
Yeah, cool. How long ago was that?
Don't ask complicated questions. Probably 200 years ago or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll accept that. I'll accept that as.
I will ask Alan. He was around.
Alan was alive. Alan was alive. He was 40 back then. Hey, Alan. How long ago was Leoni's region part of Paraguay?
There is a region in the south that was part of Brazil for a while, but it was a dispute between Brazil and Argentina. And the two armies were so useless that this region is now called Uruguay. It formed like a independent country. We always joke about that. Like no one won.
Nobody won, so they just made their own thing. That's kind of wholesome in a way. That they were fighting and then they just went, look, we both kind of suck, so I guess we're just gonna have to.
Just stop. You're lame.
Yeah. Oh man, I love this guy. I've known this little woodland creature for like 15 minutes, and I would die for him.
Yeah, it's 15 minutes, and look what we have so far.
Yeah. He just looks so happy to be here. Art of Mario says, such beautiful rendering. I love how you simplify the shapes.
Thank you. My trick is that I don't like to work, so to the simple approach.
There was it? I don't know if it was Bill Gates or someone like that. One of those like big sort of entrepreneur, like billionaire people was like, I don't give I don't give big tasks to uh, I don't give big tasks to people who work hard. I give big tasks to lazy people. And the person who interviewed him was like, well, why? And he goes, well, because the lazy person is going to try and find the quickest way to do the task um, and like the quickest and easiest way to do the task, whereas um, like a
Yeah, the hard working will take a long time to
yeah, the
become a perfect.
hardworking person is going to take ages and like worry about the quality at the end and be like, oh, well, I can't submit it yet because it's going to be too bad. I need to work longer on it. But
Yeah, sometimes the simplest answers are the best ones.
yeah,
Okay, I'm thinking about if I'm going to make the eye material
mhm,
like a little different or not. I'm
yeah,
gonna have this uh because if I'm going to do this, I have to introduce this value and color elsewhere, I think, so it's not like too
hmm
distracting. Let me figure out if I'm going to do that because like I'm kind of using these other three as reference that have like a purple
yeah,
inside, purple color inside, and this does not have that. It's like white inside,
yeah.
so probably I will not do that. Maybe I can have this being more purple, like
Oh yeah, like that. Yeah, like a bright, like a bright purple.
yeah, I think it will make more sense like that.
Yeah, he's got
And
his
maybe
he's got his makeup on. He's got some eyeshadow.
yeah, nice. Okay, it's all normal. No, this blur. Maybe I can add a little bit of this purple hue
Nice.
on the hands. Yeah, yeah, because now we are starting to do more of a character design
Yeah.
and just like using references uh to do a study, right?
hmm hmm
So here I'm giving me myself more liberty to play with the colors and the shapes and everything. I'm not
Yeah.
following the any specific reference.
Yeah. A little giggle.
I, I I like the toothless
Yeah.
parts in the top. He's like a no dude without his teeth, you know?
Yeah, yeah. His teeth fell out.
And it's so funny.
In Brazil, I don't know if you do. Do you get like Werther's originals? They're like these kind of I don't really know what you'd call them, like boiled candy essentially.
I don't know
No.
what you mean.
Oh man, in the UK and I think in the US as well, they have them, and it's just renowned that old people really like Werther's originals, and
Okay.
they will always like carry them with them, and
Yeah.
just offer them to people. And he just looks like the kind of guy that would really enjoy a Werther's original, like a proper like old man sweet.
Mm, I think if yeah, maybe I'll do this part a little bit higher
hmm
so it kind of folds on top of folds on top of the eye a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think I like that. Yeah. give him a little bit of expression. Okay.
I take back what I said earlier. I don't want the rocket as a coffee table ornament. I want this guy. I want to get a 3D print of him.
I don't know. Some of the favorite paintings I did last year were paintings I did during these streams, like
Yeah.
just stupid, silly stuff. For example, I did a zombie head that I like a lot.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was for Halloween, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad we started doing like characters alongside the materials as well.
Yeah.
If you're part of the Discord and you're taking part in the stream today, then share with us what you've been doing in the study room.
Please, we
Whether
want to
that's
see.
whether that's your rocket or your little forest guy. I don't know what to call it. A little forest guardian.
You can name him in the chat, please.
Yeah.
We need a
Groot.
name for him.
You can't call him Groot. We'll get sued.
Oh, I kind of forgot that this character exists. True. Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not much into Marvel comics and movies, so
Yeah.
I forgot.
Mr. Donut Eyes. Tree Respecter. Benjamin Groot. He's Groot's cousin Ben. Man.
I remember Treebeard on the Lord of the Rings, and I thought it could be Tree Mustache.
Tree Mustache. Yeah. I always remember there's one in Dota 2. I think it's Treant. Is it Treant Protector? Is that the one? Yeah, Treant Protector in Dota 2 is like a big walking tree dude. He has a really nice design. Kathy says to call him Kibble. Kibble, yeah, it kind of fits. I think he looks kind of like a he kind of looks like a Frank to me.
Frank?
Yeah, he kind of looks like he'd be called Frank. Lord of the Rings got one of the most influential designs. I love them. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the movie they have some really nice ants.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Did you see the there's like the animated Lord of the Rings movie from like I don't know when it was, like the 60s or whatever.
The 70s.
Yeah. Did you see have you seen Treebeard in that?
I don't remember.
He looks so funny.
The director that did that is kind of crazy. The dude is super weird.
Yeah.
I remember I seen a video about his movies. It's super weird movies.
Yeah, Oh, it's that. Yeah, it's that Ralph Bakshi guy, right?
Yeah, I don't remember his name.
Yeah, I think it's Ralph Bakshi because he did another movie called Cool World that I've heard about, which is kind of like a Who Framed Roger Rabbit sort of situation.
Yeah.
Vacnuo said we should call him Banana Body. uh, he just appeared, made Lord of the Rings, and then disappeared. Yeah, kinda. He did. He did. He tried. He tried to do 2 movies. He tried to do Lord of the Rings and Cool World, and that was about it. No Way says, "Hi, lovely design, nice shapes and saturation, very inspiring."
Thank you. Uh, he could be named as a actual tree specimen, like
Yeah,
birch or something like a
yeah,
a name of a tree.
yeah,
Like you have Professor Oak on in
yeah.
Pokemon. I don't know.
This is Mr. Cedar.
Cedar. For example, Professor Oak in Portuguese is Professor Carvalho,
Carvalho.
which makes sense because Carvalho is a last name, like a real last name.
Oh, okay. So there's not like a pun at all. It's not.
It's Oak in Portuguese, but
Oh, okay. But it's also like a last name.
yeah.
Okay. Uh, Gibbs Santos said, Ronaldo Pereira. Pereira? Per-
Pereira.
Pereira. Um, uh, Ignacio said, Leoni, would you say you have the idea for this? Wait. Would you
What?
would you say you have the idea for this one, or you did it along the way? Oh, like did you already know what you're gonna do with this before you started it?
No, no, it is just improvised.
Mm.
Uh, like when I thought about the creature, before the stream started, I kind of had an idea because I don't know if you guys remember the stream that we did going through my sketchbooks.
Mm.
I did this, I think, in the sketchbook once, and I remember that stream because we looked at the sketchbooks uh, recently. I said, okay, I'm gonna use that idea. But
Ah,
that's the only thing I had in mind. Oh, I had this. I want to make him with this like
big
bulgy
eyes.
eyes.
Yeah.
That's it. The rest is like, oh, it's just improvised.
Hmm.
For example, uh, when I finished the rocket, I thought I'm going to use this kind of texture for him, but then I said, no, I think I'm gonna do him more green.
Hmm.
It's like in a split second I changed my mind.
Yeah. uh, oh, he says this just happens to be the answer that I wanted. Cool.
And like about the improvisation is the shapes that I use when I do things without planning. They're mostly the same. It's like very basic stuff.
Hmm.
For example, I did creatures like this all the time. Uh, somewhat cylindrical body with skinny arms.
Yeah.
I did this a lot. I like it. It's kind of weird, right?
Hmm.
The arm is bigger than the legs and the whole torso,
But that's
but it
funny though.
looks interesting.
Yeah. Uh, we have a few more names. Bentley Bark and
Oh,
Peter
nice.
Plank. Peter Plank.
Yeah, using Bark as last name is nice.
Yeah.
Like Benjamin Bark or something.
Benjamin Bark. Oh, we can't do Benjamin. Isn't Benjamin Barker the? Hold on, need to check something. I think Benjamin Barker was like Sweeney Todd's name in the musical. Yeah, it was.
It can be Bob Bark then.
Bob Bark. Yeah. Bob Bark. Barry Bark. It's got to be Barry Bark.
Barry. Yeah, he totally looked like a berry.
Yeah, this guy's a Barry for sure. Oh, we actually have a question from Alan. So,
Alanito.
yeah, Leoni, this guy is in a kind of indirect light. It's not direct for sunlight, I mean. What do you recommend to do if I wanted a different light approach after... I'm struggling to understand the last bit. What do you recommend if I want a different light approach after you...
Okay, so if I want to change the light after I already got to this point.
Oh, okay.
I think so.
Okay.
I would probably just test blending modes just to see what I can come up with. Because like the light source probably would be coming from the top right corner now, because it's not super contrasty, but I have like cast shadows, and also this part is in shadow. Like I have shadow here, all of this is in shadow, so I'm thinking about the light sources coming from this direction. But if I want to change it somehow, one thing that you can do, it's like try to do a pass on top that you're gonna kind of try to flatten the overall thing. Let's see if I can go like overlay. I'll try to do. Alan wants to break me every time.
Yeah.
But you're not gonna succeed. So it's like, let me try to kind of remove the light and then try to add it again from another light source. For example, I'm gonna do, let's try this. Can be whatever for now. It's just I'm thinking about the shapes. So let's see if we're going to do this. And
that looks really nice. It looks like sunlight is sort of coming through some trees and hitting you. It looks nice.
So this would be lit. Maybe I can make, let's see if I do this. You know, I would do this if I have to. Oh, for some reason now I have to totally change what I did first. I'll do this, for example, and it's kind of like another light source. So in general, if you started painting one light source, one thing that I would do is try to get rid of it. For example, I darken the bright parts, and I can actually lighten the dark parts, like by, for example, doing this. Okay, I can actually explain what I'm doing here. When I use this, what I'm trying to do is like, I'm telling this layer that it will not interact with the shadow parts of my underlying layer. So if I move this, you're gonna see that the layer that I put on top is stopping interacting with the dark parts. And if I go all the way, it's like transparent, right? So if, for example, I want just to darken the bright spots, I will do this till I find a point where my shadow would be. And then I click Alt and I split this. And then I just darken the bright parts, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I can do the same thing with shadows. So I want to remove this layer. Let me put this in normal. So I want to remove this layer from the bright parts. So I do this until okay, this is all light parts. Okay. So I get to this point, for example, press Alt and open a little bit.
Oh.
So I can use this to brighten my shadows. You know, so I kind of removed the light a little bit, so it's kind of neutral now. So if I paint light on top, it's easier.
Can you show? Can you just show again quickly with the what bit was it when you were moving like the grayscale bars?
Okay.
Because your camera was on it, so I just need to turn it
Okay.
off.
Okay. So I will do in a very simple way, very easy to understand. So I'll get bright red and I paint like this. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I go click FX, then blending options, and I find this tab.
There we go. Yeah.
Okay. This second slider here, where it's called underlying layer.
Mm-hmm.
If I move the dark here, it's gonna remove the layer I put on top in the dark spots of my image. Okay, so it's going to apply only in the bright parts. If I do the opposite, it will do the opposite. So we're gonna remove from the bright parts and keep on the dark parts. So I do this, and then I click Alt, and I can split this into two parts.
Oh, cool.
So if I want, for example, to have a bright red light for some reason, I can do that. So I just have now red on the bright parts and not in the dark parts. And it's just a normal layer, there's no trick. And I can totally apply other blending modes here, you know?
Yeah.
So this is a fast way for me to kind of remove what I have in terms of light. So with this, I can light my shadows and I can darken my lights. So if I do this, I can have a more neutral version of the render, so I can apply light and shadow on top. Okay, but at the same time, if you do that, I would advise you to actually paint on top later, because in general, this will give an effect that is very digital.
Yeah.
Right? If I just do this. So yeah, looks cool, looks fine, but it's too like the light, the way it interacts with the object is very boring. I can erase some parts of this, for example, to create more texture. I can do a bunch of stuff to make this better. I don't use this approach too much because I like painting normally. But now, after I put that much light on top, it kind of feels too dark, right? I will probably do a little bit of this. Put a little bit of warmth to the light. Do this. So, what I'm doing right now, I'm just adding this warm light. This can be okay, overlay. And then because it's interacting with both light and shadow on my character. I don't want to influence their shadows, so I'm just going to do this
Oh, nice.
and open this. So I can find a balance of, okay, this is only interacting with the parts that I want to be lit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then I can do hue saturation and control what type of color I want for this.
Mm-hmm.
Lightness, I can do a bunch of stuff.
That's nice. It's nice and easy.
Yeah, come on. The computer does everything.
Yeah. Alan was secretly giving you a paint over after all. Yeah. Um, Herbert Dariel says, question, between environment artist, prop artist, UI artist, which profession do you guys consider to be the most wanted by the industry today, even if they're in a junior level? And that's
Mm, I
hard to
think,
say.
yeah, it's hard. Because like we don't work with hiring, right? Me
Yeah,
and Jaden,
exactly. Yeah, it's
and like the what the studio needs, like what Moon Colony needs, it's not what the whole industry
industry.
needs because we
Yeah,
have a particular approach to drawing and painting.
yeah.
Uh, so I would say what I heard, like if you do tech like for 3D anyways, if you do technical stuff like
Mm,
rigging, there's a bunch of uh, interest in that because most people just want to do the fun stuff, which is
yeah,
uh, do the actual character, like do
yeah,
the sculpting or like usually things that are boring. You don't have many people trying to do. Like
yeah.
there's a bunch of character concept artists,
Hmm.
but I don't know, people doing props maybe less, and
Yeah.
people doing environments a little less, you know.
Hmm. I see a lot of job openings for UI art, like UI artists.
Yeah, things like that, like things that can be boring.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, yeah. But I
Uh,
think, as you said, it's kind of hard for us to say
yeah,
because it varies quite a lot from studio to studio as to what they're looking for.
yeah, and also the market, like the industry is
Mm,
going through a shift right now. Like a lot of jobs are closing,
mm,
others are opening. It's hard
yeah.
to know exactly. And I also not the right person to be asked because the only thing that I ever did is what I like. I
Mm,
never cared on what the industry needs. No, no. I just draw whatever I think it's appealing for
yeah,
me.
yeah,
And I was just lucky that people thought that was interesting enough to
yeah.
give me a job, you know. Of course, it don't need to be that way. Like it's important for you to try to understand what the overall movement of the industry is.
Mm,
But at the same time, I don't think you have to like force yourself to do your portfolio a certain way just because you think that the industry would like that, you know.
hmm. Yeah,
At least for me, I tend to value a lot uh, the personal touch of the artist, you know.
yeah.
But again, I don't do the hiring.
Yeah, I
When I
mean,
see portfolios of people that they have like that extra spice, that extra stuff
mm,
that I don't see in other artists, yeah, this is the type of artist that I like the most.
yeah. Yeah, I think from a personal standpoint, like aside from hiring, because as you said, neither of us work in like talent acquisition. So, it's very personal, but I like to see that the people's portfolios that I look at, I like to see that they're having fun with what they're doing. Like,
Yeah.
if they want to be a character artist, but they're working in UI and they're not enjoying it, then I don't know. It's sad.
It's complicated.
Yeah, it is complicated. Especially because sometimes, if you really want to get a job or you need a job, you have to do stuff that you don't necessarily enjoy as much.
Yeah, I did all of that. I
Yeah.
did UI. I did videos, video editing. I even did a little bit of community management in small studios.
Yeah.
So like I did everything, but I was always working towards my goal, which was to be just Illustrator, like concept artist in Illustrator, especially with characters. I did backgrounds for animation, for games. It's like you can do a bunch of stuff and eventually be successful doing the exact thing that you want.
Yeah.
Just have to be persistent.
Yeah. So is UI design the next step for Jaden? I don't think so. Even I don't know what my next step is. So, I'm content. I'm content where I am right now.
My next step is going to lunch.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah, that's Leoni's next step.
And actually, for me, it was always hard to predict what I'm going to be doing, like in 2 months time or something.
Yeah.
The other day I was talking to my wife about going to big events, shows, things like that, because sometimes they open the tickets like 1 year in advance. Say, oh, I cannot plan 1 year ahead. It's too much time.
Yeah.
I can plan like 2 months ahead, but more than that, it's too much for me.
Yeah. I think I really hate knowing that I'm going to be at an event in like a year's time, because it's like, well, now I have to wait a whole year to go, right? I've got to I also have to remember to keep that weekend free for a whole year or something.
It's like I think I'm very like my lifestyle is very boring in a way that doesn't have much surprises.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like, oh, I cannot plan ahead. If I just want to, I don't know, quit everything and start climbing mountains or whatever.
Yeah. That would be a pretty
I like
fun.
I like the sense of freedom of being able to do whatever at any time, at any point,
Yeah.
But my life is very straightforward. It's very boring by the end of the day.
Yeah.
Come on, stop it.
I have a habit of, when people ask me if I'm going to be free in a few weekends, like if they're like, oh, you're going to be free in a couple weekends to do this thing, I'll be like, yeah, I might be. I might be free in a couple weekends, because I struggle to get things concrete in my weekend times.
Yeah. For me also it's a little bit like that. I'm the type of person that if you say, oh, let's go watch a movie right now, everyone says, yes, let's go. Right now is the best time. If it's going to be, oh, in 2 months time, oh no.
Yeah. It's like, what if I don't feel like it in 2 months time? What if I don't want to do it anymore?
Yeah, it's a little like that.
Yeah. Oh man, this guy's looking so good. He's so cute.
Yeah, thanks to Alan question, I worked more on the light from
Yeah. In 2 months, I'm gonna be anxious. Yeah.
him.
Stefano says, I'm always like, you'll be free in a couple weeks? Ask me in a couple weeks and I'll know. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
True.
Yeah, ask me the day
Have
before and I'll tell you.
in my house we have a little problem with that because
Mhm.
my wife is the opposite in a way that she likes to have everything planned in
Yeah.
advance, like nothing outside the schedule. And I'm more like, oh, I live in and improvise.
Yeah.
What are you going to do on the stream today? I don't know, Jaden. What do you think? Ah, we can do bark. Okay.
Yeah. 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 I feel like we're both similar in that regard. Like this morning, it's like, what are we doing on the stream today? I was like, I don't know, man. What do you want to do? But my sister and her fiance are very similar. He also doesn't really plan anything, but my sister is that she likes to have things in the calendar like really far in advance.
Yeah, I was talking to Melitza the other day about all of the things I thought I could do when I was in the UK the first time,
Mm,
and I didn't do any planning going.
yeah,
I just said, okay, I have to be there on the airport at that time with this and that document, and that's it. And like when I arrive there, they will tell me what I have to do, and that's it. No planning. I never saw like what type of places I can go or whatever.
yeah,
But now I was thinking about, oh, I should totally, for example, go to a music instrument store,
mm,
like the big one of the big ones,
yeah,
because I never seen one of those. It would be nice. I could bring some stuff that I only thought about later. I
yeah,
don't know.
yeah. That's the thing. I mean, I feel like I'm very similar, where I would probably spend like 10 minutes looking for things to do, and then be like, there's too much stuff. I'll look at it later, and then just show up
Yeah,
with no plan.
true, true.
uh, Melissa said that this guy is so cute. Can I have it for my garden next to the bonsais? Yeah,
Of course.
yeah. I'm telling you, I really want like a 3D print of this dude. Could you imagine having him on your desk and then putting your pen in the back of, like, using him as a pen holder for the back of his head?
Yeah, I
That would be
yeah
so
I want
cute.
that now. I need a good pen holder. The pen could be sticking out of his head like this.
Yeah, that would be so cute. Melissa is like, yes, yes, let's go.
Let's make this happen.
Yeah.
Let's make this happen.
It's so cute.
Okay, we have 2 minutes. No.
It's coming out. It's coming out of his stomach, and he's trying to hold it with his hands, but not in a violent manner. What does that mean? How can he be impaled by a pen, not in a violent way? Uh, yes, he's precious. He really is precious. He's adorable. Maybe that's something that we need to get some artists on, like elemental, like little elemental creatures or something. That would be fun.
Yeah, we could totally do that, right?
Mm,
Design your elemental, dude.
yeah, that'd be cool. Uh, he's a tree. It's not hurting him. You saw that bench that the tree ate through the years. Yeah, but like, I don't know. I feel like he's too cute to just impale him. Yeah, like that's harsh. He could be hugging the pen. That would be cute.
True. Yeah.
Barry Bark, the pen holder. Oh man, okay, time went really quickly. I didn't realize it's been 2 hours already. It's insane.
Yeah. Yeah, you saw that like I did most of the blocking in 15 minutes and the rest was just
Yeah,
playing around with color um, and rendering a little bit, but it's kind of rough still.
yeah,
But it's good enough. Like if you look
yeah. From a
far away,
distance. Yeah,
it's yeah, it's decent enough.
yeah. Uh,
This was
once
fun.
Yeah, once again, for those of you who were following along with us, whether that is live with us now on Twitch or if it's following along after the fact on YouTube, then share your wooden creations, share your little wooden men with us on the Discord in our study room. Once again, you can get the Photoshop file and everything on the Discord in the streaming channel. Oh man, he's still working. He's still just going on it.
I will work just a little bit more on this later, and then I will post this on the channel for you guys to see.
Okay. Oh, he just got one final hydrate from
Let's go.
Kathy. Thank you so much. I will have a little drink. Thank you. But yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. We had some great questions today. I hope you all learned a lot and you had fun. Thank you, Leoni, for taking some time out of your day to come and do this for us. As always, it's a pleasure. Our next stream will be on Monday, and that'll be our 1-year anniversary stream. So that's going to be really cool. I can't believe it's been a year already, but here we are. So come along to that. We're going to hopefully have some Moon Colony artists come in. We'll set up a magma board for us to doodle on and have a call with a few Moon Colony people and just have a bit of fun for an hour. So come along to that. Once again, that's Monday. Lovely production team and stream. Thank you. Oh no, thank you. But yeah, I think that's it from us today. So thank you, everybody, and I will see you next week. So
Thank you, guys. See ya. Bye bye.